Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend, Mr. Todd Baldwin. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I want to talk about something that I believe is extremely important and also ignored by almost all of the financial gurus out there. Lots of people talk about income, and you and I see it all over social media with people flexing. Lots of people talk about net worth. And frankly, my opinion, net worth is a made up number. Nobody talks about disposable income. I personally believe disposable income is the only number that matters. I believe disposable income is where you should focus. I believe you should double, triple, quadruple your disposable income. I believe happiness comes with having disposable income. I've seen reports here recently out of, I don't know, out of Wharton, some psychiatrist talking about the magic number being 75 grand to be happy. It's not an income. It's not a net worth. It's disposable income. What do you have at the end of the month that is truly yours to do what you want with? If it's a big number, you're happy. If it's zero, you're sad. I don't know why people don't talk about disposable income. What do you think? Am I missing something? Am I off? What do you got?
No, I think you're right. Yeah. And most people don't have any. I was talking to a single mother the other day who wants to get into real estate. And she was talking about how like she just breaks even every month. And I didn't actually I didn't understand what that meant. And what she said was like all of her income minus all of her expenses equals zero every month. There's nothing left over to actually save, invest, or have fun with. So she's just surviving. So yeah, getting that number up or lowering the expenses, however you want to handle it, it's important to do.
Yeah. So let's just talk about the math, because you've kind of highlighted you, the individual, have choices. You control disposable income. So again, I have an accounting degree, MBA, all this stuff, right? So let's just break it down. Disposable income actually starts at the very top, and that is how much money do you make? For most of you, that's what are you paid, W-2. But it can include side hustles. It can include other passive incomes. It can include that. But basically take all the money you make. Let's just say, I don't know, let's say you make $4,000. That is called gross income. The first thing you need to do is you need to subtract taxes, 401ks, health insurance, all the stuff that comes out of your check. That FICA guy that you see the first time, you're like, who the hell is FICA and why does he have all my money? Right? That comes off first, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now, back to your single mother story, and really most of you watching, you subtract life events, rent or mortgage, gas, insurance, food, entertainment, clothes, whatever else. Most of you do that. You're getting down to zero. Some of you are going negative and you don't know it. That's bad. You're living on credit cards. But what I want to talk about is that number at the bottom. That is disposable income. Think about it this way. That is the money that you could light on fire and it doesn't impact your life one iota. That's disposable income. I call it freedom dollars, because you're free to choose what you want to do with them. What I want to challenge folks to do is calculate their freedom dollars or disposable income. And then I want you to get ballsy and try to quadruple it this year. Right? So what do you think about that?
I think it's great. And I think one way, frankly, probably the easiest way to quadruple it is to house hack and reduce your housing cost to zero. Because if you're currently paying $1,500 a month in rent and you reduce that to zero, or even get positive, you're getting paid $200 a month to live, boom, that's a $1,700 swing right there.
Absolutely. I more and more, certainly young people, even some older folks, need to really consider house hacking, whether it's roommates like you've done it, or units like a quad like Dion and the Lumberjack do. I get it. It'll be uncomfortable. You don't want to live next to your tenant. I get all the damn excuses. But how bad do you want it? Just how bad do you want it? And you don't have to do it forever, right? How long did you house hack?
I mean, I'm technically still house hacking. Like I no longer have roommates, but
Right.
this is a duplex. They're
That's
on the
right.
other side.
Yeah.
I lived with roommates for 5 years.
But not forever.
Not forever. Yeah. I lived with roommates for 5 years. I'll never live with roommates again. I do live in a duplex where I rent the other half. And again, it's because I live in Seattle, which is a very expensive market. And my housing payment is $0 per month because my tenant pays my entire mortgage.
It's awesome. So again, folks, a lot of you looking at this. So again, when you think about disposable income and taking on this challenge of quadrupling it, Todd is absolutely right. Stop thinking about the latte factor, the $6. I'm going to cut out the $6 latte and, I'll save $400 a month, whatever. Look at the big expenses. Do you need 2 cars? All of these things, right? House hacking is by far the quickest way. It just is. And again, what I want people to hear, go get uncomfortable. All of the millionaires that I've interviewed over the years, the 15 that are in my second book, all of them were uncomfortable for 4 or 5, in my case, more than 10 years. It eventually works out. The velocity of money, recycling capital does pay off. It just takes longer than we all want. So again, one way to quadruple your money and the quickest way without question is house hacking. There are something that I call needs and wants. This is what Olivia and I did. The first thing we did when we were 30 years old after we got our first property is we evaluated our monthly expenses because we were that single mom. We at the time were both making 6 figures. We had a daughter we were raising, and we basically had nothing at the end of the month. We were, it's just, we were living paycheck to paycheck, making 200 grand a year. It's disgusting. Disgusting. And we did a need versus want analysis. And over the course of the next 3 to 4 years, we got it down to 50% so that we could stockpile. Disposable income goes up. So the velocity of the income snowball built, and we could buy more and more and more and more going forward. So again, audit your expenses. Take a razor to it. Get uncomfortable. There are so many things you can do in life for free. You don't got to pay for everything. You do some secret shopper stuff that is amazing, right? Talk about that.
Yeah, a secret shopping. You can basically sign up as a secret shopper and get paid to go to restaurants and movie theaters. So your entertainment budget can be cut down to 0, or again, turned into a profit stream because you get the food for free to get paid for your time. And going back to being uncomfortable, if anyone thinks like, oh, I'll never do that, or I could never do that. My wife and I, we lived with roommates and we shared 1 car between the 2 of us until our net income was $1 million a year.
Wow.
I'm not saying anyone has to do that, but like at one point we were living with 6 roommates, sharing 1 car, making 500 grand a year. And we kept doing it. We kept doing it until our net income was $1 million. And now we no longer live with roommates, but we still live for free because our tenants are on the other side of the building, right? So it's about, if you have like a 3 to 5 year window where it's just all hustle, it'll set you up for the rest of your life. Yeah.
That is awesome. So let's get to the top of this equation. The other way to fix this is just make more money, right? So one thing I want to tell you about today is the employee has never had more power than you do today. I was a hiring manager for 20 some odd years. And let me just tell you right now, hiring managers are paying up. If you are a great employee, I have bad news for you. Your current boss can't pay you. You're going to get maybe 3%, maybe 5%. Most of you are going to get 3%. Sorry, suck it up. Go to your competitor, go down the block, and you'll get 10, 15, 20. I have known people to make 50% more. Yeah, I know you got a lot of friends and all that stuff and blah, blah, blah. Do you want it or not? At least go have the conversation. Second, the other thing that is so much better today is never been a better time to monetize your special gifts, abilities, and interests. You have a hobby that you've done for 20 years. There's so many ways you can monetize that. For most folks, if you can make an extra $500 a month doing what you already enjoy and you're already doing, awesome, right? What are some side hustles you've seen others do?
Yeah. I mean, if you have a passion about something, creating content about that and getting ad revenue or sponsors, it's not that crazy to build an audience from something you love.
Oh,
Like I know I've seen people who love watercolor painting
yep.
and they've actually struggled as an artist to sell their paint. They really have. However, if they put a camera up and teach people how to do watercolor painting and then have a course about it, they can actually make a lot of revenue that way. And then, of course, one of my favorites, which Gary Vee talks a lot about, is flipping products, like from
Mhm,
garage sales or Goodwill.
mhm,
Man, I did that. I did that all the time in college. I bought a pool table one time in college for $300. It came with all of the stuff, like the cues, the balls, all the stuff, right? I had it in my college apartment for 9 months. And then when I moved and it was time to get rid of it, I sold it back on Craigslist for 475,
Ah, there you
right?
go. Yeah.
So I made 175 bucks off of something that I enjoyed for 9 months. And it's very easy to do. And it doesn't have to be as extreme as a pool table, but
Yeah.
anything works.
Yeah. Yeah. So folks, I think we live in a tremendous time where you really the problem with disposable income is nobody talks about it.
Mhm.
So thus nobody focuses on it. So I would challenge you today, this weekend, folks, go figure out what your disposable income is. For most of you, like myself, when I first calculated, you're going to be shocked at how small that number is. I promise you, if you quadruple or heaven forbid 10x that, you will be happier. Financial stress goes away when you can handle a flat tire or bail your mom out or whatever when something happens. It's just a better way to live. So nobody talks about it. We're going to do it here. Disposable income. You can do it two ways. I suggest doing both. You can whack expenses, house hacking being the best, or increase your income. What do you think of all that?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's absolutely to the point, and I think I think most people won't do it. People on your channel will.
There you
They
go.
will, but most people out there. I saw a post the other day of this woman who has financial anxiety, and she was talking about how, oh, I'm so nervous to buy the new. It wasn't an iPhone. It was some like Microsoft thing, some device. And I was like, well, then why? Why
Yeah.
are you buying it?
Yeah. Don't buy it. That's a
Yeah, like
sign. Your body is telling you not to buy it. Yeah.
exactly. Like it's in your control, and there's a reason too why why the new pop singer has a music video with 1 billion views and the Warren Buffett investing strategy has 20,000 views, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
People don't want to know this stuff or they don't care to know it or whatever. They'd rather just complain. But luckily you're putting in the good work. And for the few people who are willing to listen, you're going to change your life. And they can change your life if they do what you teach.
Very cool. Do me a favor. Where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram at Todd J. Baldwin.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you.